Shalom and good day, all. This is Tehillim29 back again. Today I'll be covering one of the specials of the Free Iwatabi Swim Club Season 2, which is a part of the Eternal Summer series, and this will be seen as 2.1. So Free Season 2.2.1, as there are technically about roughly 5 parts to this. So this is just the first part in regards to this particular one that I'll be covering, and for the first one that I'll be covering is a OVA special that was in Season 2 or connected to Season 2 before moving on to the additional ones, which will get their own separate videos. So for this one, I'm just covering this main particular episode for this video. And of course, you'll get to see some of the images of some of the characters that we see in the story and that are spoken about in the story. So moving into first things first, the episode of this went for roughly 24 minutes in length, or 23 to 24 minutes in length. It is a OVA episode. So the OVA starts off at the Semazuka Academy Cultural Festival, to which the Iwatabi Swim Club members have basically been invited to attend, and to which we end up catching up with the characters, or the club members, being Haru, Makoto, Rei, and Nagisa, and as they also go to show support to Rin and also his team that are at the academy, because they also have their own swim team, to which they end up seeing the team mascot, and Notori is dressed up as a cafe maiden, to which Nagisa tigers Notori in the story a little bit, until we move past the opening song and we end up meeting Rin, who is greeting people at the cafe, and as they sort of like await service. And so whilst they await service, they then make decisions to go and spend some free time out together, to which it starts off by sort of like finding a little place to sort of like grab something to eat, to which Sosuke indicates that he'd prefer to eat more, to which we get to see the character of Nagisa buy like 10 shark buns, or wants to buy 10 shark buns. And one thing I still stick to after watching this is that Nagisa is the glue that holds, I'd have to say, both of these teams together. Jumping into the next thing, after the maid cafe, and we do get to see Sosuke is sort of like being a bit of a chef in the kitchen. They move into the free time after that, which I sort of brought up before, and they, of course, try to make a way to sort of like enjoy and have more fun together whilst they are together. And this is where Nagisa gets the idea of maybe playing in a survival fun game, to which they do actually have there on display at this particular festival that's being held at the Semazuka Academy. And whilst this is occurring, they then break up into teams. We see Nagisa, Sosuke, I think it's Momo, who's also on their team, and on the blue team. And then with the red team, we have Rin, Makoto, Rei, and but one other character that I really can't think of right now. So they do set the time for this game to be for about 5 minutes long, and we get to watch quite a number of scenes of them like trying to hit each other with basically water pistols, and those that are hit with water pistols are out of the game. And of course, Ray, in his own theories in the story and the way he uses his theories in this particular episode, he tries to set up a trap, to which in one essence the trap does actually work on one of the opponents of the other team. Whilst he was trying to get Sosuke sort of like saw through it. Nagisa ends up missing it later on. We then jump towards a little bit further within the story, or to which this event, or this water fight event, starts to reach a close. And whilst it reaches a close, we end up seeing Haru and Rin sort of like as the last man standing. And of course, Haru loves the water that much, he decides to be shot and let the others absolutely crazy, but still absolutely fun. So the night ends up with him like spending time around a campfire, or spending time around a fire of sorts, and with them basically talking about the events of the day, of what they enjoyed and whatever else. And then not long after that, we finally do move into the end credits. So my afterthoughts in regards to this particular episode, I must admit it was really nice coming back to watching some more free Iwatabi Swim Club content, and it's nice to catch up with the characters. Even though we do get some of the characters, or a little bit more of the characters that are connected to Season 2. Some characters to which I'm still trying to grasp who they are and how they know some of the characters. We do get the introduction of another character in this particular episode by the name of Kisumi, and it feels like he's sort of like dropping in to see Sosuke and Rin at the time, but in the process he also gets caught up in the water pistol fight that's happening between them, and that was definitely funny in its own right. We end up having Momo's son showing showing his love for the character of Go, who is the sister of Rin in the story. And because of his actions, he ends up sort of like being shot by a water pistol and loses. Jumping into the next thing, and that is the area of the rating for this series. So moving into the first area is the main characters, to which main characters would clearly be the characters connected to the Iwatabi Swim Club. That would also include Rin, who is now basically sort of like at another school and basically swing for their swim club. It was really nice to see their characters sort of like interact in this story, and also how well they get along. Yes, they have their times where they disagree, but even whilst they disagree, they still find a way to work and get along together. The supporting characters in this, I think, would probably be, of course, many of the Semazuka Academy swim club members, to which we get to see a little bit more happen with these characters as they interact with the Iwatabi Swim Club members. Now, for both the main characters and supporting characters, I give an 8.5 out of 10. Moving into the next thing, and that is the area of the soundtrack. Of course, there's the opening and ending. That's all fine and very well and consistent in how it's delivering that and also using it within the story. But then there's the main soundtrack that plays within the episode, which I think worked really well, to which I give it an 8 out of 10. Next is the area of animation. Animation, it doesn't matter where you go with these episodes, it always remains consistent, and it always remains consistent with the characters and even with its work with the characters, to which I give it an 8 out of 10. And last but not least, moving into the area of the story, to which I give an 8.5 out of 10. Well, until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day. And stay tuned for Season 2 Part 2, or so Season 2.2, to which I'll be covering the next thing that I'll be covering will be the high speed free starting days. Now, that is actually a movie that goes for, I think, just under 2 hours. So I don't know how much fun I'm going to have with that. And it's going to be nice to finally start watching it and catching up with it on Crunchyroll, because this is where I've been watching a majority of this. But I will point out that there are some things that Crunchyroll sort of like hasn't put on in relation to the free Iwatabi Swim Club, and this happens to be one of them. Well, until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.